And from your experience, because you've taught this, you taught the trainers, you've done on both sides, what are companies that you're seeing get the most benefits on either integrating coaching, mentoring? Is it right from the beginning? Is it different stages, sizes, companies, different structures of companies? What's kind of the benefits and on bringing both coaching and mentorship and what stages? Is it, for example, mentorship something that's coming maybe later on? Is coaching earlier? What do you think?
It really depends. It depends on the organization, and it depends on the cultures that there is in every organization, of course. But I think it's more specific to the states that the organization is in, or the states that the leader is in, because this is where the people that I work with, they're mostly leaders. So if you have a new leader, or if you have like a person in a new leadership role and you have to teach them, you have to explain, then mentoring is the easiest thing. While if the person gets the hang of what is happening, then coaching is the way to go. So it really depends on the stage. I love examples, so let me give you an example of that. If a person in the sea, you see them in the sea and you see them sinking and they're like, help me, help me, help me. What do you do there? Of course you go and you save them. So you are a mentor, you go there, you you put them on your back, you swim and you go out. Yeah. At this moment, a coaching strategy wouldn't help. Imagine you would be a coach, you would go next to the person, you would say, oh, I see I'm observing you are singing. It seems that the water is really deep. What do you think that brought you to this point? What do you think you can do? Yeah, the person is dead. Exactly. In the same way with leaders, when they join a company, especially but also when they are already in the organization, but they are promoted to a different role, which I think you want to discuss about it a bit later, but maybe I can explain a little. There are different skills that they are required. Before you're an individual contributor, you know how to do your thing, you're the best in it. Then you need to lead the project, you need to lead a team, you have different skills, and it's the best if you have somebody to show you a little bit. They say, copy it till you make, what do they say? Copy it till you make it, or something like that.
Fake it till you make it? Like,
fake it till you make it, yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody gives you a bit of an idea of how things work, you copy them, maybe you fake them a little bit in the beginning, it's very normal, until the moment that you start to develop your own method, your own leadership strategy. And this is the moment you don't need a mentor anymore. Now you need a coach to support you, refine and polish your own strategy.
So in this case, thinking about back to the business case that we were discussing within context, with the coaches, it almost seems like mid-level to senior level. For example, an executive, if you're an executive, you're going to get maybe more likely to have a coach that you want to bring on to help than, say, a mentor if you're at that senior level, because you need someone with that even higher experience. Well, if you're a junior, you just started in a company, just started in a role or a profession, mentorship is going to offer you more value in at least the short term right now, and it's more applicable, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And this is what you see mostly in organizations. So when they have new leadership development programs, they start with mentoring groups or peer groups, because it's really helpful. But later on, especially at the executive levels or really senior leadership, then you see mostly coaching, but also most of one-to-one coaching is where you see one-to-one coaching. Yeah.
Okay, that's where the shift becomes. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So it seems like for companies, and again, you said it can be all different kinds of stages, right? It could be a startup, or like for 10 to, it could be any, okay, where mentorship is great. And to think about mentorship and mentorship programs, or implementing some kind of talent, which we won't cover all today, but that's something that to think about in the beginning. Juniors, maybe even mid-levels, where in the mentorship group that you talked about, and actually we're going to go to that next question, because that's probably, we can really dive into it. And then coaching really for those senior level executive coachings, where you always hear about, where you're focusing on asking questions, reapproaching things. One last thing about that, is it possible, where you've seen a hybrid where someone could be, I could imagine, for example, if I wanted to teach, marketing, for example, is it possible to be both a mentor and a coach? Like, I'm going and I'm giving you the experience, but off topic, or no?
Yeah. It's really cool. What you see also is that in leadership development programs, you see a lot of teaching coaching skills, because they are very much needed. So let's make a distinction here. What we were discussing so far is about for you as a leader, what do you need in order to move forward? And this is where we suggest that if you are a junior, it's better in the beginning to have mentoring and then move towards coaching, then blend them and everything.
Okay.
If you're a senior, then it's very good to go there. But when it comes to what kind of skills you need, you definitely need to learn coaching skills from the very beginning. And why is that? It's because mentoring comes more natural to us. When you were a kid and you were asking for your mom to give you, to support you with something, she would tell you how to do it, Dan. She would tell you, yeah, Dan, you have to do this and that. So it comes a bit more natural. That's why coaching skills need to
see. I see. So you don't even need necessarily to learn how to become a mentor per se. It's just almost like, for example, here's how you do the washing machine, and just follow these instructions. It's going to get you through life, right? Like my mom would teach me that, but to actually coach on a particular topic would require actual training, because to invoke the kind of response you're looking for requires much more thought, and it's not say as natural. Super interesting, man. This is a whole other topic, and I could dive into this all day. So I that's almost like another interview, but that is a really, really good one. I feel like that's a really big topic. And
it is. Wow. And let me just let's make a mark here, because I don't mean to say that coaching is unnatural. It's certainly not what I want to say. Is that like, let's say, what makes a thing natural is that we have really, what creates a habit is that we have really demonstrated the behavior 10,000 times or even more. So that's the thing that we are used to. While in the coaching, it's something that we need to learn, the coaching behavior, asking questions, supporting the other person do the job without us, just having a more of a laid back approach. That's certainly something that most of us, at least in the Greek culture, because I'm Greek, or in the Dutch culture, I don't see that it's so, it's strange.